Hey, Carlos here with the 8.5-year-old Park Zone T28D Airforce Trojan. This thing has endured numerous hundreds of flights and endured a lot of crashes. One of which last weekend, it augered in hard because of the wing attachment plastic holder down at the bottom. This is the original T28. It only has one screw attachment, and as you can see, it earlier on with the bad ESC, it was shaking crazy on the aileron servos. Well, this one is rock solid now. It was something to do with the ESC going bad. Everything seems to be in order. Okay, there you go. And I of course I touched it up, did a little paint job. This thing was completely demolished. I used in this go around white glue for the fuse, and the hard spots like the firewall and the attachment point for the motor mount, I used JB WELD, just the regular JB WELD, and this thing is just beyond amazing. I could screw in these things even though they were torn up and brittle. The whole fuse was demolished, and the white glue did its job. Just Elmer's white glue, that's it. So that's my little secret. I have tools on hand for putting the ESC wire through the bottom hatch, and I use this little tool right here, which is just a small wire gauge push rod from another model that is no longer with us, and that did the trick. And that way I could grab it a hole from the hole right here, and I fed it, of course, from down below here when the motor was in here. So I'm beyond happy because this thing is going to fly again. I think earlier pictures showed that this thing was ripped off. White glue did its job, and all the hinge points worked perfectly. It just, look at that. And I could tug it. Yeah, it's rock solid. So, yeah, guys, it was an earlier repair job that I did down at the bottom, which is the tube, and I think I've shown you guys pictures of it. JB WELD did its job there as well. And just to make sure, don't laugh, but I inserted commercial grade needles right through the bottom frontal portion of the wing into the fuselage, which is got a lot of meat there, and just in case, but there's JB WELD right there. You got the screw there, so I didn't modify anything. I used JB WELD. I let it cure per the instructions, which is 24 hours, and I put JB WELD from the inside channel as well, as opposed to right there at the edge. So that fractured right there at the flat spot. So the tube was not making contact with the bottom plastic channel plate, if you can. So that's why the wing ripped off in the mid-air and practically destroyed the fuse. The only casualty here is the wing ripped upon landing. I guess it landed right there in this wingtip and it cracked it, and the only thing holding it was the hinge. Again, white glue did its job there. Okay, guys? So, just giving you some food for thought and some tips that I've done. So if you got any questions, by all means, give me a holler. Yeah, the casualties here is the stock 480 motor, and my wonderful Castle Creations Phoenix 35 amp ESC is no longer doable. It's going to the graveyard. So I'm going to give it to a buddy of mine who likes to tinker with electronics, and see what he could do with it. This is an AXI Models Motors 2820 10, which is a hell of a kV. It's 1100 kV, 1100 revolutions per volt, and I'm sorry guys, I just like wooden props. This one is a 10-8. I know it's got a lot of pitch, but this time around, instead of doing a lot of knife edges, I'm gonna like a little more spirited flight. So the motor weighs almost 2 ounces, a little heavier than the stock, and I just checked the CG with the stock position of the battery. As you can see right there, these are Genesis 2200 3-cell, and it's live, as you can see right there, and it pumps up the volume. This little motor here, just unbelievable. It's got excellent magnets, and this thing, I can't wait to fly it. So from a disastrous comeback, it lives again. I did come across an airframe with some electronics, and I think I paid $55 in eBay. The Airforce T28D as in dog, which is the foam already with the blended color and in the foam, so no paint required, and it's really hard to get. So I'm happy as lark. It should be here by Thursday of next week. A gentleman in New Jersey was kind enough to pack it up. First he had the ad local pickup, and then he saw that I was interested and nobody else was bidding, so he changed the ad after it expired and rekindled the ad and put up for shipping option. So I can't wait to get that airframe. Anyway, sorry for the lengthy talk here, and I'll see if I could get somebody to video record the flight maiden with the upgraded modified power system. Oh, by the way, yes, I'm using this Model Motors AXI 2810 using 282010 using the E-Flight. Let me see here, the E-Flight 30 amp switch mode ESC, and it comes nowhere near 25 amps. At least it got real scary. So I think it has a lot of power, and with the high pitch, I'm not going to probably be finding myself any more than half throttle. So again, I'm excited. I touched it up with the models paint acrylic, and as you can see, it's nice and shiny now. Not bad for 8.5-year-old model, but I love it because it just flies really well. Okay, Carlos out. You guys have fun. Hope you had a nice weekend. See ya.